Ready, Noelle? Cool. Well, first, I would like to thank Danielle and Noelle for having me on the call. I'm really excited about it. I've been thinking since like before Christmas about this call when Danielle first approached me and what I was going to talk about. And what I really want to talk to you guys about is recruiting challengers to become coaches and recruiting them within your challenge group. But I feel like before I can really get into the meat of the call, I should tell you a little bit about my background with being a Beachbody coach. So I was definitely that skeptic person who believed it was a scam, and I saw people posting about it for like 2 years probably before I made any moves to join the program or anything like that. I mean, I just saw people posting pictures of food, and I saw that anyone can do it, and I didn't understand that Beachbody had any value that it could add to my life. I was like, I run half marathons, I go to the gym, I do CrossFit type stuff. Why would I need an at-home fitness program? Like, my diet is fine. I don't need any help. So I was definitely that stubborn customer. And then I moved to North Carolina, and I basically like uprooted my life, moved here, and I live near a military base. My fiance is in the Marine Corps, and I realized that there is absolutely no gym near me unless I want to drive 45 minutes or if I wanted to be on his schedule. And I was like, well, this isn't going to work. This just, he leaves. Like right now, he's gone for 8 months. What would I have done? Driven 45 minutes one way. So I reached out, and I right off the bat was like, if I'm going to pay for a challenge pack and get my coaching fee waived, I'm going to coach. I just knew it. But not everyone knows it. Not everyone knows that that opportunity is even there. And the reason why I knew that opportunity was there is because the person I followed on Facebook was constantly sharing that opportunity. They weren't just sharing invitations to their challenge group. They were sharing with me that I could also be a coach. And it wasn't just straight up in Facebook posts like, hey, I'm doing a call, you should get on it, like an invite sort of thing. It was like these little sidelines, little jabs that this person would put into their post. And it got me, like, it literally put the idea into my head that I could also be a coach. So before I talk about the whole challenge group, I also want to say some of the best advice I've ever heard is from Keith Callahan. And I don't know if you guys know who Keith Callahan is or not, but he is Liz Hark's, I don't think I said her last name right, but he is her coach. And he is in the Millionaires Club. Like his income is totally out there if you want to see it, like how much he makes per month. I think the last month he put up was like July. He made like $60,000 in 1 month. And his advice is to find one coach who wants this business more than you do. All you need is one coach who wants this business more than you do, because your income is going to grow exponentially as you are building your team. Like your commissions won't even matter. I talk to coaches. One of my good friends here in Sneak Ferry is also a very successful Beachbody coach, and she's like, Kelly, I don't even see commissions. They're nothing. Like that into my bank account is nothing. It's all about team volume. So you have to recruit. One of the best ways to recruit is in your challenge group. Your challenge group is about like this much of your business that people see, because they don't see the behind the scenes work. They don't see you getting up early to do your workouts. They don't see you getting up early to also fill in 10 minutes of personal development, or that like 30-minute car ride to work when you're listening to podcasts and that sort of thing. They don't see you do that work. They don't see you like sitting there at your computer being like, shit, I have 21 days to plan for this challenge group. I don't know what I'm going to say. Like, I have to find all these good quotes to put in there. Like, how am I going to get people motivated? What if not enough people sign up? They don't see that. What they see is what you put in your challenge group and how you portray yourself online. And so one of the best ways to get someone who is a customer or bought a challenge pack and is just a discount coach, which, by the way, I heard through the grapevine that the whole discount coach thing might be going away, but don't quote me on that. But I did hear that that might not be an option anymore coming soon. But anyways, so one of the best ways to do that is to get challengers while they're excited. While they're in your group and they're seeing that weight loss and they're checking into the group, that is when you should open the door for them. So in that first week, it's a little much. Like, they're still learning the program. They don't need you throwing out this opportunity of coaching at them. I truly feel like you need to meet every single person, be it a customer, a challenger, someone you're forming with, someone you're literally just like, you just added on Facebook, but you're trying to come across their newsfeed more and you're like commenting on their pictures and stuff. Like, you have to meet that person where they are. And when a challenger is just joining your challenge group, they are not ready for any information about coaching unless like they've, been in a previous challenge group. It's so overwhelming. They have like a workout to fit in, meal plan. It's all new to them. You have to think about how you first felt when you were a challenger. Like, I would have been like, I started right away, but if I hadn't known about coaching, I would have been like, geez, I just got started on Beachbody. Like, how much more are you going to throw at me? So around like halfway through is when I present. Either Maggie and I run sneak peek groups. They're 5-day long groups. I'd be happy to share my script with you, Noelle and Danielle, like what we do when we're done. It's literally just 5 days long, like videos that me and Maggie made or videos from other coaches. And we put them into that. And normally, I'm not going to lie to you, those groups, it's not as active as your normal challenge group, but people understand that the opportunity is there, and that is the huge thing, is you taking your time to message your challengers and be like, you're killing it in this challenge group. You're doing exactly what I do as a coach in the group. Like, you would be an awesome Beachbody coach. Literally just something like that. And then like, I'm running a sneak peek group, or I'm doing a call, like, or Liz Hartkey's doing a call tomorrow. Like, anyone, this is your homework. Anyone, think of 3 people, maybe current challengers right now, or people that you've been forming with about Beachbody. Like, invite them to the call. Be like, you're awesome. You're rocking this challenge group. There's this call. Log in and listen. It's as simple as that. And I will tell you, my coach, who is one of the most active people on my team, was actually someone else's customer before she was my coach. And it happened because her coach wasn't running very successful challenge groups. Her coach was not inviting her to be a coach. She came into my challenge group. She started losing weight. I approached her about the opportunity. And then she was like, wait a second. Like, I can coach? I didn't realize I could coach. I thought I had to go through other coaches. I didn't realize anyone could do it. Like, literally the opportunity was just, it just wasn't there. So really what I feel like has to be stressed is share the opportunity. Don't just share your challenge group, share the opportunity, talk to them, be consistent. I have had challengers who were in my groups, and I've approached them about sneak peek groups and sneak peek calls, and they do it. They jump right in, but they're not very active, and it's because they're not ready. But I consistently put them in groups no matter what. I don't force them to, do anything different. And they see the results on their own because they're losing weight, and then eventually they come around. Literally, this is happening right now. They come around. And you really don't want to be that coach when people are leaving because you're not presenting the opportunity. Because someone wants to be able to afford Shakeology all the time, but they can't, and they don't know that they can be a coach. And honestly, you're doing people a disservice if they're being signed up as customers and they're getting it for $130 a month when they could easily be a discount coach and get it for $115. And this happened again with another coach. Her coach just sold her the challenge pack. Her coach was like, I'm going to hit Success Club 5. I'm going to put you in my challenge group, but I'm never going to touch base with you again. And there you go. And now she's coaching with me because I put her in a challenge group. We did, I paid attention to her. I spent time on her. We have a relationship, and then I presented the opportunity of coaching. People are afraid. They're afraid to do it. They're afraid to start the program. They are afraid to put themselves out there on social media. Half the time, I think the reason why people aren't active in the group is because they're afraid to even post. Like, it's terrifying. You have to remember what you felt like when you were just starting. I remember sitting in my room, about to make my first post in the challenge group I was in, thinking, like, I hope no one judges me for this. I hope the picture I put up is okay. Like, are there any spelling mistakes? I think I went back and edited it like 5 times. And this was a group for just 12 people. It's absolutely terrifying. And these people who are in your group, they need you to motivate and encourage them and make them feel welcome. And once you have that relationship with them and they feel that way, they're going to want to join you, because they're going to see how much impact you're making in their life, and they are going to want to do it to other people. And it's okay if people say no. Coaching isn't for everyone, but I guarantee you, people who are in your challenge groups and they're seeing what you do, if they're consistently in them, they're not going to be like, oh, no, I don't want to coach, and now I don't want to be in your group, and I'm never going to buy a Shakeology from you again. Like, they're just not ready for it. Some people, it just takes time. Group is for you to be your best success story. If you are posting in your challenge group, but you're not, as I know some of you probably run groups together also, if you are not also doing the call to action, and if you are not also putting up your sweaty selfies and you're just following script, and if you're not changing your script up, your customers and challengers are going to see that you are not being authentic, and they're going to know. Above all else, you are a leader. You are a leader in your challenge group. You are a leader for your team. And people, your challengers want to see you as a leader, and they're not going to jump ship with you and be on your team and do this whole Beachbody thing if they don't see you as a leader. I actually have a great quote about leadership from church, actually, this past weekend. And the pastor said about leadership, he said that leadership is an invitation to love someone enough to help them take their next step. And that really I really thought about that a lot, especially in thinking about this team call, because one, I feel like it's leadership on your end. Put yourself out there and invite people to be in your challenge group in the first place. Two, if you're being a leader by posting all the posts, by getting people to join, by getting people to make that change in their life. And then if someone is making those results and you know that you have this amazing opportunity where they can completely change their lives, they can be in the healthiest shape of their entire life, they can change their lives financially, they can change themselves mentally. I know that I've not just gotten more toned, but I am a completely different person from when I started Beachbody in July. But even my hair is softer from Shakeology. If you have this opportunity and you are truly being a leader, you have to invite them to take this next step in their lives, because it makes sense. I feel like if you're not inviting them to do it and you're not reaching out to them, it just feels so wrong to me. They can learn so much from you. Their lives can completely change. Ignore the dog. She could tell I'm getting excited and she wants to get in on it. So seriously, I encourage you, make those connections with your challengers. Encourage them more than just a simple like or comment on their picture. Reach out to them and invite them to be a coach with you. Tell them hey, you're so awesome. I want you on my team. I know you're going to do great. I have a girl who sells Advocare. I don't know anything about Advocare. Obviously, it's not working if she came to me and she bought Insanity for me, right? But I tell her all the time, I'm like, you would rock this Beachbody business. I want to help you be a leader, and I want to help you rock this business. And she is now considering leaving Advocare for Beachbody because she sees the value and the consistency in which we do. So just also keep that in mind. Like when I'm recruiting for challenge groups, I'm not like, oh, you are doing this program, or oh, you're running on your own, or you don't want to try Shakeology. And that's okay, because when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, all of us sitting on this call know the power of Beachbody coaching and know the power of Shakeology and sharing what it can do for you. And people will come around and they will want to join you when they see that their lives are even going to change like this much, not even from doing all of it, by just doing like a little bit of it. They're going to be like, I'm so hooked. I'm already feeling so much better. Now what do I do? I mean, it's not you throwing coaching at them all at once if they're not, ready for it. You have to meet them where they are, but everyone can get there, and anyone can be a Beachbody coach. So don't rule someone out just because you think that, oh, I've done this. I'm like, oh, this person would never post on social media, stuff like that. Or this person would never want to be in a challenge group. So I'm just going to go ahead, not even invite them to the challenge group, not even message them when they're in the group about the coaching opportunity because I think they wouldn't like it. No, that's so wrong too. And I feel so bad that I ever judged someone in that manner and thought that they wouldn't want this opportunity, because this opportunity is amazing and you should be sharing it with other people. So off my soapbox, I feel like that's really what I have to say about recruiting challengers with challenge groups. But do you guys have any questions? I feel like I threw a lot at you.
That was so awesome, Kellie. If someone doesn't have a question, I do. Can you speak a little bit about like when you do your invite to your challengers that are rocking and kind of walk through that process for them?
Okay. So one way that she's got to get out of here. Okay. One way that I spot challengers who I kind of like put them on my radar, I guess you could say. Maggie and I do a Google Doc or a Google form in the beginning of a challenge group, and it's a survey basically. It's the same one that I'm sure a lot of you have done, but it's in an electronic format, so we can go back and look on the drive. And a lot of people will post things like, Shakeology is so expensive, I'm worried about keeping a Shakeology diet ongoing, and that sort of thing. So that person's on my radar for introducing them to the coaching thing. And then as they start posting, within about a week and a half, I try to schedule it out so that I'm constantly running a sneak peek within my challenge group of some sort. And I mean, this one, it's just, Liz Harkey is already doing one, so I'm like, I don't know if I can do it better than her, I don't, like, if it's already there, why reinvent the wheel, is how I feel about it. So then I will see, like, if someone is consistently posting on the call to actions, if someone is consistently posting their sweaty selfies, I don't even wait to reach out to them. I reach out to them within like 5 days probably about the opportunity. But I do tell almost every single person. So we were doing Google Forms every single week. Sorry, I absolutely cannot concentrate. We were doing them every single week and asking questions to people like, things that would get like you thinking about them coaching on your mind. So like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She's like biting my hand and I can't think about what I'm talking about. She's insane. Just like questions that would put them on your map even more. I feel like it really comes down to like how you invite people, really comes down to you feeling them out. And if you think that they are ready for that next level, then you reach out to them. I always personally message. I personally message my challengers a lot during the challenge group just to make sure, even the ones who aren't active, just to make sure that they're still like doing it. Some people don't like to post a lot. And I want to make sure that they're still getting the most out of the program, even if they're not. And so I feel like I constantly have some sort of conversation going with every single one of my challengers. And then when I bring up, the coaching sneak peek, it's not as awkward because I kind of already have this dialogue going with them. Did that answer it? Sorry, I was so distracted by this mangy animal behind me.
So I have another question. Can
Yeah.
you talk about how you kind of like to share coaching on social media outside of kind of a direct invite, like how you're throwing those jabs? Maybe some examples.
Yes. Um, okay, so another coach told me that you should be inviting someone to the opportunity at least once a week. And I will admit, like, I'm not always the best with that. Sometimes life gets to me, and that's something that I am personally trying to be better at. They told me that you should be posting some sort of transformation of yourself, not even just your body, like your mindset, your meal planning, like, are you going to sleep earlier or later, like how you feel, that sort of thing once a week. And you should also be coaching or putting out the opportunity. And so the coaching opportunity does not just have to come by saying, like, be a Beachbody coach, anyone can do it. It can come from simply like one time I posted a picture of my groceries and I was like, thanks Beachbody for paying for my groceries this week. Or I posted a picture of a personal development book and wrote about like where I saw myself in my team further on. Just little things like that. I like to sometimes I like to call the dab the Maggie effect, I guess. It's like the Maggie, like, Maggie always sneaks in like something about Beachbody, or yeah, the Maggie method, or like a little something about her challenge group on almost every single post. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of how I try to think it in. I'm not one to continually post long posts because, to be completely honest with you, I barely read them unless the picture is really awesome, and then I'm like, ooh, what's going on in this? Or if the beginning is really awesome. So unless I have something that I think is a scroll stopper, like, stops the Facebook scrolling, then I'm not going to put a really long post out there because I don't think many people are going to read it. And if you're putting the coaching opportunity at the bottom of your post, it's going to get the least amount of attention. And I've really learned that from my like page also, because it tells you how many people clicked on the link. So it's kind of like when you're thinking about your post, you should put important information at the top, because not everyone is going to read through every single little thing that you say. Even though, if you're like me, I like to think everyone wants to know about everything I have to say. They don't always. But
You guys have her, so open the floor and ask away.
I have a question.
yeah.
I think this probably clearly speaks to my leadership in the groups, and I mean like leadership, because I'm thinking like I was definitely a leader. Monica and I ran groups together for like ever, but I've had girls with me probably from the beginning or for months now that I put a label. It was my fault. I put a label on thinking, oh, they wouldn't want this. So I never have really invited a lot to my challengers unless I saw them being crazy active in my group.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if you can speak to the possibility of girls that might still be in your group that I'm thinking that, they might not be as active now as maybe they once were, but I still check in with my girls and I know they're still doing the program, but they're not like, the posting sweaty selfies or their food all the time. And I'm wondering if you could speak to, because now me personally, I don't know if there's other coaches on this call that are kind of feeling like they're in the same boat. They've got these girls that have been on the gravy train with them forever.
Yeah.
They don't appear to be gung-ho like coaches or challengers, but they're still there. So I'm kind of like in my mind thinking like, what now? So anyways.
Well, my first thought would be, have you ever invited them to coaching or into sneak peek groups or calls?
Like I said, I it was my fault for never personally inviting. It was never, I felt like I as early as a coach, I would think like, oh, if they struck me to be a coach, I would invite, but that was my fault. So I never really, to be honest.
Because thinking back to the whole challenge group thing and putting yourself in a challenger's shoes, if I hadn't signed up to be a coach prior to and knew I was going to coach, but that person running the group who was like the leader in the group, because I looked up to Sam when she was running the group and like was in total awe of what she was doing and thought like it was so awesome. If she had personally reached out to me and been like, you're doing so awesome, have you ever considered coaching yourself? I would have felt so excited and happy. I don't know the word I'm looking for. When you're like so grateful and so excited at the same time. I'm sure you guys know the word I'm thinking of, but I just like can't get it out of my brain at the moment. It makes them feel so special, and it makes them think that you actually care about them and not just your challenge group. And so the other thing I would suggest is they might not be being as active, because if they've been doing the same program for a while, they might be a little bit bored with it. That was me. I started out 21 Day Fix, saw a lot of success. I was really excited and motivated in my challenge groups, and then around like month 4 or 5, I was like, I'm so tired of doing the same workout all the time and sticking with the exact same thing. Like, I know exactly what's going to happen. And I felt like I was like going on a downward slide, and so I started 21 Day Fix Extreme, which I feel like would be natural to suggest to someone who's been doing 21 Day Fix for a while to maybe get the program. I mean, it cost me like $30. It was really cheap as a discount coach. And I would think like to get them excited again would be to maybe invite them to do a different program with you, and then take it from there and be like, you're doing so awesome in this challenge group with this new program. Like, would you want to coach in some sort of another? Not like that, but.
Okay, Kel, I have a question. So can you talk a little bit about, because I guess we have a few more minutes, about your aha moment? Because I remember you back in Top Sale, and I remember a lot. I know a lot about how you started, but I think it would be really helpful for some of our coaches here to know that. I mean, you didn't come out of the gates in July like hitting Success Club 20.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't actually. I did not become an Emerald until like 3 months in. I was like, I don't know why I like just wasn't, but I think that maybe I wasn't actually like inviting in my post. I was telling, I wasn't inviting, if that makes sense. I was like, if that makes sense. I was like telling people to do it, but I wasn't inviting them. And then I met a coach who lives near me, Rachel Coolell, and she kind of like lit this fire underneath me. She became my mentor, basically, I guess you could say. And she was just telling me things about the business. She was like, it's not gonna always people see that you're having success, and they see that you are transforming as a person and you are becoming a happier, healthier you, they're gonna want to naturally do it too. She encouraged me to start reaching out to people. She encouraged me to grow my network. To be honest with you, like I've tried the whole like messaging my cold market, and that just isn't really for me. I've also, one thing that I found helps a lot to build my network is finding a group on Facebook that is specific to my network. And so your network would be, in this case, would be like who you're trying to attract to your challenge group, and then posting on those groups and commenting on things, and then adding people within the group, and then reaching that opportunity out to them. I'm actually having lunch this weekend with a girl who I met on a group who happens to live near me, who is in, the same sort of situation, like military wife. But really, I think my aha moment was realizing that I needed to break out of my comfort zone and do something that I was uncomfortable with, and I needed to do it consistently. And because if I wasn't doing it consistently, people were going to know. People can tell when you're being fake in your posts. Like, believe it or not, like they know something's up, and they know it's not really you. And when you are truly happy, it's like that Roald Dahl quote that's like, if you think sun shines, like, it's going to come beaming out of your face all the time. That's not the quote, but it's something similar to that. Like people can really tell. And if you believe in yourself, that's another thing. If you have negative mindset, you're like, that was me. That was literally me, Noelle, back in the day. I was like, I'm never gonna freaking hit Success Club. Like, I'll never be able to do it. And that was me being like, I'm never going to hit Success Club. Like, that was me telling myself I wouldn't do it. And then I told myself I'm gonna consistently hit it, and I'm gonna recruit coaches, and my business has completely turned around. So, yeah.
Thank you. I love that. Does anyone else have any questions for Kellie? We have a few more minutes.
I wrote another one down. Can you speak to kind of what types of questions you ask in your Google form, or would you be willing to share some of those after the call?
Yeah, I definitely would share them with you. One thing that I actually think has been genius that Maggie and I do is, I know a lot of you probably had, went to college, that sort of thing. So professors give you like an end of course evaluation, and that has been so key in preparing for our next challenge groups, because we look at what previous challengers said we need to work on, and then we work on it in the next one. And sometimes they'll be like, there wasn't enough like meals out there, or Shakeology is too expensive or something. Like I didn't like the taste of Shakeology, and you didn't give me enough recipes. And that like helps. Like, first of all, I straight up will like message people who say stuff like that, or like put it out there like, hey, like I saw you said this, like how can I make it better for you? And then I forget the other questions specifically that we ask on the form, because honestly, we stopped doing them every week. We started them in the beginning and in the end of the group. But it's like your goals, but also like what do you want to get out of the challenge group? So like not just what do you want as a I'll share it. So like not just what do you want to get out of the challenge group, or what do you want to lose? Like what do you want to do personally in your life? So if someone's like, I don't want to sit behind a desk anymore from 9 to 5, it's like ding ding ding, like this person needs to get on this cooking bandwagon.
I love that. I think we all can really appreciate hearing kind of a different perspective within our larger team, because sometimes you get caught up in your own ways and you just need a fresh, different mindset. So that's why I kind of wanted to get you on the call, because I feel like you are such a emerging leader within Glow Dynasty, and it's nice to finally hear you kind of step into that and speak to our teams.
Thank you.
They hear enough of us.
I know it's about to end in a second, but my last like huge piece of advice for all of you would be to find a success partner, or even just someone within the Glow Dynasty like community, because I like to think we're a community, that you check into and you talk to all the time. Like me and Rachel Morris recently have become really close, and we Zoom call sometimes for like an hour, and we talk about our businesses and we bounce ideas off of each other, because we're technically, we're in the same downline, that we're obviously like, not competing against each other. No Beachbody coach really is. And we like put our brains together and we have these awesome ideas. Or like, Kelly, Noelle, and Rachel and I, we had our own little like accountability group for ourselves, where we were like, we're going to get up in the morning every morning and do this 2-hour power hour together. And we're going to check in and like send pictures, because there is power in numbers, and you will go so far if you heed the advice of others and break yourself out of your mold. And because I, for one, I'm always like, oh, I know everything, I don't need anyone to help me. But no, it's not true, especially when it comes to coaching. Two heads are way better than one. So.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. I know Noelle and I really appreciate it. And I think our coaches hopefully got a lot of nuggets from you. And any last closing questions?
I think going off of what Kelly just said, if you see anyone on this team that like you see them post, or like you just kind of look up to them, or you want to know a little bit more about what they're doing, like reach out to them, because they may have a success partner, but like it doesn't matter. Like they can still help you, and there's no reason why it should just be you and your coach.
Exactly.
Because we have so many different experiences, so many different like full-time jobs or day-to-day responsibilities. So that's what I love about this team. That's what I love about this community. And and I say a lot according to Ryan.
It's awesome.
All right.
And like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Like I literally sent Rachel Morris. I sent her a message one day, and I was like, hey, like we have so many things in common. Like I think we'd be best friends. Why are we not already? Like literally, like.
I think I sent Rachel the same thing once.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on the call. I'm so glad you guys got to listen to me. It's really exciting being a part of this team, and I love seeing all of your posts every day. I try to like as many as I can, but sometimes I don't see them all.
You're too much. Well, we're all here to support you through August, and it's going to fly by before you know it. And
Thanks, I'm hoping.
Come see me in California.
we're all here for you if you need anything, and thank you again.
Thank you so much, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys.